I think this is gonna ruffle some feathers, but I'm in the mood for ruffling feathers.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Omomi aka Petite Diva, and in this video we are discussing whether women who are white think that women of color are not beautiful. Now this video is inspired by a particular lady who said that some white women actually don't feel like women of color are beautiful. Now some people reacted to her statement with their own story time, so we're going to check out what she said, what people have to say about her statement, and then I'll come back to share my thoughts. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, let's get into this video.
I think this is gonna ruffle some feathers, but I'm in the mood for ruffling feathers.
Ooh.
I think some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them. I think some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them.
Not only prettier, but smarter and a better athlete. I met my best friend in high school the summer before. So in 8th grade, going into freshman year, we met at volleyball camp. And we ended up playing volleyball together freshman year. And then sophomore year, I left volleyball and I stuck with basketball and track. And she stayed with volleyball. But we were still really good friends, even though we had different sports seasons. And my senior year, or our senior year, she was driving me home because she told me that she needed to talk to me. And before we got to my house, she pulled over like in my subdivision and was like, I can't hang out with you anymore. My mom says that you're a bad influence. And I was like, excuse me? I was very taken aback. I was in honors classes. I was a 3-season athlete. I was an all-season athlete because I played club sports as well. I lived in a nicer neighborhood than she did. My parents made more money. Like, I was just really taken aback as to why she would say that I was a bad influence on her. At that time, I didn't really curse that much. I was getting a scholarship to college. Like, I just really couldn't understand how I was a bad influence other than I was black. And I was so confused. And then I told my mom about it. And my mom was like, her dad has been weird around you. And you know, in high school, that's when you start to develop as a woman. And my mom was saying it was probably because her dad started looking at me differently. And that hurt because she was my best friend and she sat there and looked at me with a straight face telling me that I was a bad influence when I was the one that was encouraging her to do more academically and athletically. And like, we would hang out all the time. Like, we had been best friends for 4 years at this point, and I'm a bad influence. That was just so crazy to me. And that still hurts to this day. Like, I haven't talked to this girl in 10 years because I'm 29 now. And I miss her. Not as much, but like that bond that we had, like that was just so crazy to me. And it's so interesting growing up as a person of color in a predominantly different kind of suburb, that even though your family can still have all of those things and more that they have, that you're still never going to be good enough for them, even though you've done the work or your family has done the work to get to where they are or better. You're still gonna be black, and that's not good enough.
I think some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them.
When I first moved to the US, I started a graduate program, and within our program, there was this white girl that knew a person from my country. She was dating him, and she told him, hey, a person from your country is in our department. And he's like, I know, that pretty girl. And that was the end of me, because that caused me I didn't know all this happened. I just knew she hated me, and she was kind of like dropping all these mean comments in the program for different reasons, including her being intimidated, became so abusive that I had to leave it in a year. But
why?
I just wanted to say that like the beauty of women of color could really intimidate some white women. Of course, it's not all of them, but
that's rubbish.
I think some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them.
I just wanted to pop in on and add an experience I've had that's really close to what she's saying. I had a best friend in the sophomore year of high school who was white. Low-key my first mistake. And it was really obvious that, you know, she pulled a lot. She thought very highly of herself. And I'm not even gonna lie, she was pretty. I live in a primarily white area, and I go here as a Pakistani hijabi, who on top of that dresses alternatively. I know I'm not in the getup right now, but not exactly, you know, I'm not exactly this area's ideal type. It was the beginning of sophomore year, and one of my guy friends introduced me to another one of his friends that we had class with. And we all had the same lunch period, so we all decided to get a table together during our lunch period. So, you know, it was us two girls and those two guys. And normally, honestly, I usually don't like sitting with guys, or like I don't like to be alone with guys, you know. But I had known the guy that introduced me to him, I was really tight with him, and I was like, you know what, I have class with them, so, you know, I might as well be a little friendly. The guy he introduced me to was actually my chemistry partner. He was actually really polite, really nice upon meeting us. A lot more than, honestly, other guys in my area are. And as time went on, you know, we would tease each other, be friendly, you know, the shit you do with people when you're friends. And I think one time I was walking with her after school, and I mentioned, I was like, you know, I have a feeling that he might kind of like me. For context, I live in a primarily white area. Men treat me like shit. And I know that it's like, oh, just because a guy's being nice to you doesn't mean he wants you. But for me, you know, it's a really odd experience that someone would be this nice to me or this friendly to me. He was actually the one who told my original guy friend to invite me to lunch because I used to sit alone. And when she heard this, that I said that, oh, I think he might like me, she was flabbergasted. Not only flabbergasted, she was almost offended by the idea that someone could like me. Because I guess she had been so obviously used to being the one that pulls in our friendship. And she switched up. She was like, what are you talking about? No, he definitely, like, he's always flirting with me. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm not the most confident person. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. Also, like, it became really obvious that she definitely liked him, even though she had a boyfriend. It's not whether he liked me or not that was the principle here, you know? The main issue was her reaction. That's something I've never forgotten. I wasn't even interested in him. I was just low-key, like, excited because, oh, a guy in real life thinks I'm pretty? That has never happened to me. And eventually, I actually became closer friends with him, and I actually found out, like, I'm way closer to his type than she actually was. And he's even told me verbatim that out of my whole friend group, I was the prettiest. Which is low-key crazy to say, but hey, that's meant for you. I have no idea to this day if he likes me or not. And honestly, I don't care. He was a cool friend. I guess we're not really friends anymore for unrelated reasons. But what forever sticks with me is her reaction. White women are so used to being able to get whatever they want, you know? She has even said to my face, word for word, that, oh, if I want a guy, I can get him. If I want someone, I can get him. And I guess it failed her in that case, and it didn't work out. And in this case, I guess a white guy chose a brown Muslim girl over her. She was offended. So yeah, I don't think she's a bad person or maybe inherently racist, but it is definitely like the first thing I thought of when I saw this topic.
I think some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them.
Wait, because I have a story about this. So boom, it's my freshman year of college, and it was in the spring semester. If I don't know when that is, that's from January to May. So the entire freshman year, I had seen this boy like looking at me. I'd heard about him. He's on the basketball team. This black dude that's crucial to this story, or whatever. I'd heard about him, but it wasn't. And we had mutual friends. But it wasn't until spring semester where I really caught him looking at me. Where I heard more about him. I was like, oh no, you know what? He's like kind of cute. Let's try talking to him. See where that goes. We had a mutual friend who I was really, really close with. So I was like, oh girl, before I start talking to him or trying to talk to him, could you see if he's talking to anybody? Because if he's talking to somebody, I'm not gonna try and start talking to him because he's talking to somebody. So boom, so she texts him and he's not talking to anybody, and she gives me his snap, putting to find out I already had him on Snap. So I start texting him. I text him first because I'm not afraid. Closed mouths don't get fed. Text back and forth for a little bit, and eventually he was like, oh, do you want to hang out or whatever? And I was like, sure. And I was excited because like he's cute, the vibes are going, we can see where this goes. We end up hanging out and we're watching a regular show in my room. We're cuddling, we're laughing. It's going really, really well, and I'm really excited and happy because it's going well. So I ask him, because I'm not scared, I'm not shy. I end up asking him at the end of the thing, like, so like since you're not talking to anybody, like, are you just trying to have fun? Or are you just trying, like, what are you trying to do? I wasn't trying to push nothing on him, but like I want to know what's happening before we go like any farther, because I don't like being played. I don't like games. We're grown. Like, let's be honest. He tells me he likes me. He actually wants to continue with this too. He really likes hanging out with me. So I'm like, okay, cool. A day or two later, I find out that I'm blocked on Instagram and Snapchat. Not his number, but I'm blocked, and I'm like, what the fuck? Little backstory. So I mentioned this dude was black, right? Now, around campus, not all the time, but I had seen him like walking around with this white girl or whatever, and that's like whatever. I was assuming they were either friends, like before we hung out. I was assuming they were either friends or they hooked up maybe once or twice or whatever. Like, I didn't pay it, don't mind, but like I noticed that. I also want to point out that this girl was the girl he would hang out with was known around campus, one for her lack of looks, but also just being kind of bitchy. Like, no one liked her around campus. She had like 3 friends max. Anyway, so I ended up texting him and I'm like, yo, what's up? Like, whatever. And so he ended up being honest with me, and he told me that girl who, like, I saw him walking around, that they had started talking before him and I started talking, and it ended up like not working out or something like that. Basically, he was gonna try talking with her, and like basically they were gonna like see where they go or whatever. I'm kind of like annoyed because, one, like, if you didn't want to do anything, like, I was mad because he could have just been honest. Like, it's not that hard. We're grown. I'm thinking people can be honest. Apparently it's hard for some people. So I was just annoyed. I'm like, okay, whatever, do what you want to do, like, do you, whatever. Even though I was upset, my feelings were kind of hurt, not because he picked someone else over me, because listen, it happens, you win some, you lose some, but I was more upset about who he picked, because this girl was not only not liked, she was not cute at any means. I know some people are gonna be like, Kennedy, you're just being mad, you're being bitter. No, a girl, I could not like a girl and she can still be fine. When a girl's a bad bitch, a girl's a bad bitch. It's that simple. She just wasn't. So that had me in my feels like, okay, damn. But fast forward, they're constantly hanging out, whatever. My friends and his friends are like, what the f? They're confused because, one, they all admitted we had really good chemistry, but also, like I said, this girl was not liked by anybody. So when I tell you his friends were clowning him for hanging out with her and trying to make things work with her, it was serious. Long story short, I never really got any closure or whatnot. So at the very end of school, like, it's the end of May, I'm like, listen, this is how I feel. This is how upset you made me. You do with it what you want, but I didn't appreciate the way things ended or whatever. He ends up apologizing. Like, we had a long talk or whatever. And I'm like, okay, we can at least be friends, this, that, and the other. As we become friends and after school ends and he's away from all the dramas, he had a lot of drama and shit going on, whatever, I actually get to know him on a more personal level. He ends up admitting a lot of things to me, this, that, and the other. Like, one of them being, I didn't like this about him, but he didn't have his own original thought. Basically, he ended up asking one of his friends after he hung out with me, like, oh, I really like the both of them or whatever, but which one should I choose? And for whatever reason, his friend told him to hang out with the other girl, so that's what he did. I literally clowned him. I'm like, so you just didn't have an original thought and couldn't think for yourself? But whatever, we talked about that. And we made some genuine progress in terms of friendship, and eventually he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I said no. I didn't like the way he handled things. I still didn't fully trust him yet. He ended up asking me 2 more times, and after I saw genuine progress, I ended up saying yes, and we started dating later on. His friends were happy for him, my friends were happy for us, and again, it wasn't until I saw genuine progress in his behavior, how he was acting, this and the other, before I said yes to being his girlfriend. Now, anyway, I ended up going somewhere for the summer as I got in trouble, but my father ended up dying in June of that year, and he helped me a lot through that, which I was so appreciative of, especially since he was now my new boyfriend. Now, my boyfriend, right, so he is posting me on Snap, he's bragging about me, he's talking about his friends, like this and the other, our friends are super happy for him, this and the other, and the girls still followed him on Snap and Insta. I don't know why I said just Snap, but basically She was, she was upset about the fact that we were dating, so she started talking shit about me on her social medias, and people would tell me about it. So I would go to her TikTok and her Instagram and try to see like what the fuck she was talking about. Like, you're talking shit about who? Who are you talking about? She saw me in her views of both social medias, and I eventually made a TikTok too because I was feeling petty as fuck and because I can, because I'm grown. And she basically ended up texting him like, "Yo, control your girlfriend, get your girl," like this, that, and the other. And he's telling me, and I'm like, control who? She sends him this essay like, I don't know what you see in her. She's not even cute. She's built really weird. She's this, that, and the other. And I'm like, who is she talking about? She's talking about my looks. She's not understanding why he could pick me, because why the fuck would he want me? Bitch, look at me, but whatever. She's saying all these things. And again, my father had just died like a month max after she texted. I think it was in June. And she's talking about things she does not know about. And it's pissing me the off. So I end up texting her, and she's basically like, and we go back and forth for a while, and she's like, "Why are you looking at my social medias? You're weird." I'm like, "I'm looking at your social medias because you're talking shit. You don't want me to look at your social medias? Block me. It's that simple. It's what I do when I want people looking at my shit." And so she's talking about my looks or whatever, and I was mad as fuck. I was mad because who she thinks she is. She's talking about my dead family. She's talking about a whole bunch of shit. I'm mad. So I'm like, bitch, his friends were clowning you for being with him, or for him talking to you. His friends were clowning you. You have no room to talk.
Okay, so we've seen what people have to say about the discussion, the discuss that some white women don't find women of color attractive. They think women of color are not pretty. Basically, they think that women of color are like ugly. I would love to hear what you think about that discussed topic. So please leave your comments in the comment section. Now, basically, from the story time that the people who replied, the original creator, I've given, it looked like the white women around them thought that they were ugly. Basically, they were like thinking that they were the ugly friend in the group from the ones that saw the reaction from their friends, their white friends, the hijabi girl and the other lady that was an athlete. I think that their friends saw them as just, oh, let me just associate with them, but they are not the pretty ones. That the women of color will make them, the white ones, the pretty one in the group, the one that attracts the male gaze. And when they saw that the women of color were attracting the male gaze, they felt offended. That how can they be better than them? The other guy was talking about being a better athlete, being on honor roll, and yet a white best friend was saying that her mother said she's bad influence. Now, from what she was saying, it seems like the father of the girl was trying to be a pervert, and maybe the mother of the girl noticed, and that's why she said, oh, don't be friends with the girl, so that she'll not be coming around her husband, coming around her, and then she can prevent whatever she had in her mind that was going to happen. It's just unfortunate that there are some white women that feel like once someone is not white, the person is not pretty, is not beautiful. It even boils down to the fact like some white people will actually think that even gingers that are white are not even pretty, they are ugly. Because I have a video where we discussed where a lot of the gingers were saying that they used to be bullied by white people majorly because they have red hair, because they have freckles, they are not looking blonde and looking like they are the typical white person. And it's just unfortunate that some white people think like that. It's just unfortunate that some white women think like that. Because why would you be thinking that once someone is not white, the person is ugly? And when you see other people picking them, when you see them attracting the male gaze, it's a problem for you because you never considered them pretty, and you feel like, why should they be chosen over you? Now, the last girl was talking about how she got a boyfriend and everything, and how the person he was talking to before her was offended that after they didn't work out, he picked her because she's a black person and the other person is a white person. Now, how can she be picked over her that is white, and that she's black, she's not fine, she's not beautiful, she's basically ugly? It's a weird concept that I don't understand, because people can be beautiful across all races, all color. There's nothing that makes a color more beautiful than the other color, and I just don't get where that mindset came from. Who started it? Where did the concept come from? I know it might be the whole Eurocentric colonialism and everything, but it needs to stop. This is 2025 or 20, we are in the 21st century. It needs to stop. Beauty is found in different shades, form, and in different ways. So I don't really understand why some people think that they are superior in terms of beauty, and when they see that people are appreciating the beauty from other races, from other color, it triggers them, it offends them. It is a weird behavior to be having in the 21st century, and it needs to stop. Anyway, that is my thought about this whole discourse that some white women actually think that women of color are ugly, and when they say that people are appreciating the beauty and the women of color, they get really offended. I would love to hear what you think about this whole discuss topic, so please leave your comments in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with what I said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.